Eugen Weinberg, commodity analyst at Commerzbank, joins us from Frankfurt. Eugen, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Were the gains of the last 10 days unsustainable?
Yes, I think so, because the gains of the last days were mostly due to the paper demand. Right now, the allocation period takes place. Obviously, most of the institutional investors decided to increase the allocation into the commodities, and especially last year, due to the thin volumes on the market, this propped up the prices massively. The cold weather right now is creating the right environment for the price increases, but it's not the reason behind the price increases, just the reasoning, because the real reason is a huge paper demand by the investors who are entering the market right now, but I don't think that this is sustainable, and I think the gains are to be subdued over the next days, and the prices will drop going forward.
So how long will this paper demand last, Eugen?
Oh, it's difficult to say, but normally it takes place at the end of the year, at the beginning of the next period. That's why I think that by the end of the next week we will see the rebalancing effect of the indices, and also the allocation be over.
Another factor that could influence the oil price, Eugen, are CFTC regulations on energy markets. What impact's that going to have?
Oh, definitely. This is, I think, probably the most important factor going forward. Unfortunately, they postponed it already several times. It should have happened already in October, November last year. It will happen probably also by the end of the next week. By the middle of this month, they supposedly will give already some indication on the limitations, position limits on the market. This will lower the prices. We have already such system on grains market, and the grains were the only segment of the commodity market last year which didn't perform, which I see also the reason for this is the lower speculative demand, the lower paper demand from the investors.
On a supply-demand basis, Eugen, I mean, how well supplied is the oil market right now?
The market is well supplied, and you're hearing all kind of news about the OPEC increasing the production, but also non-OPEC countries like Russia increasing the production recently over the last months, and also increasing it going forward. On the other side, yesterday's data from the Department of Energy again confirmed that the demand is not there yet. The demand for gasoline, probably it's also due to the longer holidays, but also the trend of the last weeks and months showed that the demand is not really recovering yet. At the current prices, the gasoline prices in the US are already 60% higher than a year ago, so it's very difficult for the demand to recover.
When do you expect demand to recover? When do you expect demand to recover?
It's recovering, but it will not be recovering in the OECD countries. It's recovering only in emerging countries, most of all in China, where last year, again, over 40% more cars were sold. So it's mostly coming from the emerging countries. But unfortunately, the emerging countries are still not making the most of the demand. The most of the demand for oil is coming from the OECD countries, and it's not recovering there. So this year, we will see probably an increase of only around 1 million barrels of oil through the whole year. It's not enough to hold the prices at the current levels, because on the other side, on the supply side, we have spare capacities of over 6 million barrels.
Is this going to be the year, Eugen, when we break through $100 a barrel again?
You cannot really rule it out, but I think that most probably we will break down the prices of $60 to lower side. It's definitely not the consensus call at the moment, but I think that the chances of the oil prices already in the medium term coming down under massive pressure are higher than for the prices to increase over $100 going forward.
Eugen, thanks so much for joining us today. Eugen Weinberg there from Commerzbank. Right.